And today we're going to look at a function called vertical lookup, which is very common. It's a very common function used in Excel. It can be used for financial things, but we're going to use it again as a teacher tool, if you like, to work out grades. Now, if you remember the if statements that we use to work out grades for marks, this is another way of doing it. And I think it's one of the important functions to probably cover in a course like this. So let's start up my spreadsheet. Okay, I've got some student data here. I've named that, and I've just got a series of students that we've used before with their marks, and I've got nothing in here at the moment. With vertical lookup, what it actually does is it looks at this particular mark here, and then it goes to a table which you have to make. Pause your video and just make up a table something like this. The 0F is quite important, the way this particular function works, but you can sort of change the grade system to suit yourself. One of the things we have to do is turn this table array into an absolute reference, and to do that we're going to name it rather than putting the dollar symbols in like we have in the past. The other thing is to realize that vertical lookup relies on it actually goes from top to down the rows with increasing numbers. It won't work in any other way. So, 0 to 100, 0 to 300, whatever. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the table and then click in here and name this grades. Okay, so I've now actually named that whole set of cells, if you like. And I'm going to go back to student data now, and we're going to go to formulas. Insert function. Okay, I've got the vertical lookup here, which I've used before, so I'm just going to use that one and click OK. And it comes up in the function formula bar here. Okay, first of all, we need to look at the lookup value, which is this one here. That's the first one. Remembering we'll use fill down for the rest of the list, but we'll just click on that, and that puts in B2 there. Okay, make sure that you click into here before you do anything else, otherwise you'll get into a bit of a muddle, so make sure you click your cursor in there. And it says we're looking for a table of text or numbers or logical values, so I'm going to pop into the next sheet, okay, where I've got my data that I've named, and I'm going to highlight this. Okay, so it's now written in grades into our formula. Now, what happens is that this particular data, or Excel looks at this data, and then it looks at the lookup table and finds the corresponding data in the table, and then takes it to the second column to return whatever's written in that column. So we need to put second column here so that Excel knows where to actually look. And the other thing we need to do is that with this array that we've actually got specific grades, and of course students may have something in between. So therefore we need to use that true statement. So if true, then everything's fine, but if false, it needs to go down to the lower grade, if you like. So we'll put in true here. And make sure that, have I spelled that properly? Yes. Everything looks fairly hunky-dory here. I've got no errors come up in this side here, so I know I've done everything okay. So I'm going to click OK, and we've returned a C on Hiki Namuki. So let's just have a look. A C is 55. So going back, that one happens to work out really well. Okay, so now I'm going to do the fill down. Okay, and it will reasonably, accurately, it will actually score the person. So if they haven't got dead on the right grade, it will actually go down to the next grade down, depending on what the number is. So remember what that true statement's for, that's sitting there. Okay, that's it. That's the vertical lookup. And of course, it's all set up now. If grades change, like S. Stanley there, suddenly in the next test, we can copy and paste this, obviously. In the next test, they get 34. Then we can actually, which would be a terrible thing after getting such a good mark, but that person's now got an F because they're below the sort of threshold for a C. Okay, I hope you enjoy setting up your vertical lookup table. By all means, be creative and do something, yourself if you want. And this is a good function to actually look up on YouTube as well. So just bear that in mind. Thank you.